Done. Yeah, that was easy. You want to know something else that's easy? Slope. It's no problem. Don't be scared. So think about what slope means. Like in English, just what's the synonym for slope? We can talk about grade. We can talk about steepness, how steep something is. Think about what that word means. Like if you had to describe to somebody who had no concept, I don't know, maybe they came from Kansas and everything was completely flat there. There were no slopes anywhere. And you had to describe to this Kansas person what steepness meant. Just think about it. Just stop for a second. I'll just stop. And you, while you're sitting there at home in the comfort of your couch, think about what it means. How would you describe how steep something is? Go. Well, I think if I would describe it, I'm thinking about, that would be like no steepness at all, no slope. That would be like the maximum you can get, right? Straight up and down. And somewhere in between that, what I'm basically saying is, I'm saying, how fast does this go up compared to how far it is? If it doesn't go up very fast for how far it is, I would say it doesn't have very much slope. If it goes up pretty quick compared to how far the distance is, then it's steeper. It has more slope. So it's kind of a roundabout way of getting to this concept. Slope in math, we define it as the rise divided by the run. And I think you can see, let me just erase this so it's not so confusing. Rise over run is just another way of saying how fast something goes up compared to how far the distance is, the run is. If we look at it kind of in graphical form, let me do a quick little graph here. And let's say we had a point right here, and we had a point right there, and we drew a at least straight line in between those. We're looking at a slope. And again, if we think about rise over run, for us to describe that slope, we're going to describe how much it's going up compared to how far out it is. I'll write another formula for this, and I think you'll see immediately why this works. Rise is just another way of saying, don't worry about this little subscript. It's just a way of identifying which one is which. Anyway, rise is a way of saying it's the difference between two y points on your graph over the distance between two x points. Okay? Think about what this means. Let's say that we're going to start here, which is 0, 2. And we're going to go to this point, which is out 3 and up 0. Well, the slope of this, let's say we started at this point here, and we're going down to there. We're going down how many spaces? We're going down 2 spaces. And then we're going over 1, 2, 3 spaces. If you want to do it this formula, it's the second y minus the first y, which would give you 2. And did I say the second? Anyway, it's this y minus the second y, and it's this x minus the second x is negative 3. It doesn't matter if you go the other way around. Let's say we started at this one. 0 minus 2 would give you negative 2, and 3 minus 0 would give you 3, and you know that those are the same. Negative 2/3, negative 2/3. So it doesn't matter which one. The only thing you can't do is you can't go that minus that and then that minus that. That would mess you up. So in other words, what we're kind of saying is it doesn't matter if you're going this direction or that direction, the line is still the same steepness, right? It's not changing. So this line has a slope of negative 2/3. From this point to that point, we go down 2 and to the right 3. You could pick other points. If there was a point out here and a point down here, and you do that subtraction, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, you're going to get the same slope. It doesn't matter. It's a little tough if we pick a point where we're not sure where it's going. Like if I pick there, I don't know what that point is exactly. Or there. So try to pick a point where you know it's crossing a whole number. That's kind of an easy point to pick for slope. Another little hint is that if you have a line going down from left to right, that's always going to be a negative slope. If you have a line rising from left to right, that's going to be a positive slope. Okay? So negative is going this direction if you go left to right, and positive is going that direction if you go left to right. The ultimate kind of two endpoints on slope, I kind of gave a hint of this earlier. If you had a line that was going like this, do you see that there'd be no slope? That has no steepness to it. And we can prove it by doing the little slope formula. Let's just pick 2 points, here and maybe over here. So what is this? -1 and up 2. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and up 2. Now try it. y2 minus y1. So pick the y's. 2 minus 2 gives you 0. 4 minus -1 gives you 5. And you know that 0 over 5 is 0, or in other words, no slope. The ultimate on the other direction would be if you had a line that was vertical. Let's pick a line that goes through here. And again, let's pick 2 points, here and maybe here. So this is over 3 and up 2. And this is over 3 and down 3. Now let's try the slope formula. 2 minus -3 gives you 5. 3 minus 3 gives you 0. You know that you can't divide by 0, so that slope really is essentially meaningless. And if you think about what this really means, how would you say the slope of that line? It's like infinity. You can't even put it into a number, okay? So that's just cluing you in that this has infinite slope. You don't even say it has slope. It's like meaningless, okay? All right. Slope formula is just another way of saying rise over run, and rise over run is just a little bit more rigorous mathematical way of saying what we all kind of know internally. The steepness of a line is how fast it's going up compared to how far the distance is. Okay? Up compared to the horizontal. Rise over run. Okay, I'm out.